Eh. Eh. Alrighty then. You are triggered by this title. Are you now, Avalon, you horse girl? Okay, for context. I was in Goreflem's stream. You should go check them out. They're pretty funny. Hang on a second. Goreflem. I can't spell their name. Okay, I'm gonna have to copy, paste. There we go. So in Goreflem's stream. There was like a little story of like, you know, them going back to like their childhood home or something like that, and I think it's their partner or something. Like they were in their room and they were like, "Oh yeah, you were definitely a horse girl growing up," and Blair's just like, "Excuse me, what?" And so we just ran with that in the chat, and I called them a horse girl again because they said potato wasn't a vegetable, which they're wrong about. Hi, Rudy Char. And when I told them that, they're like, "Oh, Avalon was just in the stream like a mere minute ago. He can bonk your ass." And I'm like, "Do it. I will call Avalon a horse girl to their face." And so that's what I did. I know you're a dude, but I'm gonna call you a horse girl. You saw the notification and now you're mad. First was taken by Bone. No, don't ban me. Don't ban me. Don't ban me in Goreflame's chat. They're fucking awesome. Where is the squat? Oh yeah, that's right. Hang on a second. Two things. Number one, I need to turn on the squats thing again. Where is it? At squats. A ding, platform, Twitch. Here it is. Enabled. Yes. And then secondly, I need to get out of these jeans. Hang on a second. Jeans are not conducive to doing good. Right off the bat, Furry Cures is like, yeah, get those squats ready. But yeah, jeans are not conducive to, jeans are not conducive to, like, you know, a proper body of motion for squats and what have you. There we go. I just read what Avalon just written in Goreflem's chat. Like, hang on a second. Maybe I can. Where is the thingy madiggy? They wrote, "Okay, fair, but I got nothing," and then in all caps, "Don't take advantage of my gender fluidity." So yeah, thank you for the boost. Also, okay, so let me give proper hellos. So Bone, congrats on being the first person to the stream. Hi, welcome. Avalon, good to see you. I see you're triggered by the title. Why so? Furry Cures, hi. Meeps, hello. Cookie, this cookie right here. Mine. My cookie. You're gonna have to ask for the cookies next time. You know what I say about Bone stealing first? Ow. Just bonking me on the fucking head, why don't you? Alrighty, where's my brain at? Oh yeah, I need to get everything up and running, because I literally just posted in the Discord. That is what we
call a skill issue.
It's not a skill issue, it's just me being a bit of an idiot. So yeah, because I literally, like, I woke up, I got my iced coffee, and then I wrote into chat, "Hey, morning," and then, like, you know, half an hour later, wouldn't it be funny if I just started, like, streaming right now? Because I have so many Americans in here that are, like, you know, streaming at the craziest fucking hours, or they're just sort of like, "Oh, why don't you stream at a time when we're awake?" And I'm like, you know what? That's a valid thingamadiggy to request. Let me get back to you on that one. And then I just never properly did it. So now I'm just, like, randomly doing it in the mornings and checking in with people on, "Hey, are you just randomly check in of like, oh hey, are you ready for some streaming in the morning when you're like having dinner right now? No hard feelings? Well, why didn't you make a goddamn announcement before you started? That's what Discord is for. That's what notifications are for as well. Fun fact, I get a little like message in the analytics about recent streams and such like that on whether or not people get their get their Twitch notification. So if I scroll down for, let's see, is it yesterday's stream? No, this is talking about Monday. If I go to Saturday's stream, and it will tell me for the go live notification, out of 695 notifications sent, 4 of them had followers tap or click on the notification that I went live. Only 65% of you have your notifications turned on for when I stream. 65%! Like, 695 people out of 1,070 have their thing turned on. Now, that's fair, because probably if if they don't have the thingamadiggies for, but yeah, you love AC6, you're having a lot of fun bashing my face against the boss. That's good to hear. Also, I need to stop the music in the background, so then that way it's just the music in this. Because I've been replaying some of the missions. I'm still a D in the illegal entry, but I got an S in the destroy artillery installation. That was fucking amazing. I did that off stream. I've got some A's. I've gotten a B with the tester AC. And then I got a C because of the giant weaponized. God damn it, furry cures. All right, so yeah, let's get started with some. All right, let's see. So I'm dual wielding. All right, hang on. I need to change the assembly here. So I'm gonna stick to assault rifle here. I'm gonna swap to. All right, how does? Let's see. Much higher okay, so I'm gonna go over to sword. This is what my thing looks like right now. The best way I can describe. Actually,
go suck a lemon.
You go suck a lemon. And also, why'd you gotta pixelate me? I'll leave the thingy-majiggy on while I'm like, doing some small adjustment to my. I realize now it looks a little bit like Buzz Lightyear. It looks a little bit like Buzz Lightyear. All right, so this is the 2nd generation. That's 1st generation. This one might be better because then I can like, do some thrusts in and out. I need that generator. I've got nothing for my expansion. Also, why in the F is my pad? There we go. Control scheme type A, that's fine. Alrighty. Here we go. So we're gonna replay, because I want to get an A on this thing. I want to try and get an A on this thing, just a little.
Maybe a product sample.
Maybe, does it have Disney Pixar on the ass? Oh my gosh, that's a good callback, Furry Cures. I have not put on an engraved Disney/Pixar registered trademark. All right, I gotta hide the intro fighters while we do this mission. I know it's a replay mission, but I figure it would be a good way to get me back into the groove of things. Also, it makes me like figure out like what I feel about the paint.
Target. Now's the time, 621.
Go suck a lemon.
You go suck a lemon. All right, so the guy is over there.
We're under attack!
Oh yeah, left trigger is the sword.
The pilot's just a trainee on delivery duty, but don't let your guard down. I'll deal with the merc. I've been training for this.
Well, Master God made me to say, how do you feel about me using your field as part of my craft?
I feel very conflicted about that.
SAC has reached breaking point. Go for a direct hit. Damn it! I can't die like this!
Damn it. Well, I fucked that up. There we go. Will he get an S tier on this mission? You're gonna find out very quickly. I reckon.
Enemy AC destroyed.
All right, hang on a sec. I'm gonna
That's it for this job.
hide the PC capture so you can't see the ranking. Go on, vote in the thingamaddiggies. Vote in the thingamaddiggies before it's too late. Otherwise, you're not gonna. All right, I haven't looked yet. All right, we got 1,000 points saying yeah. That's I completed this mission in like 30 seconds. That is very fast, Avalon. And I'm imagining like that 30-second one, I bet wasn't even an S tier for you, was it? This is gonna be competitive as F. Also, I need to figure out like if there's a better way of announcing prediction polls are open. Like maybe I need to get an announcer line and, you know, have it going like prediction poll open or something like that. Oh, maybe I should find the woman, like maybe I need to find the woman that does like a new hand touches the beacon and instead make it say a new poll has opened. You used a reverse jointed AC with the handgun plus missiles. All right, voting done. All right, and bing. B. We got a B rank. All right, where is my stream manager? Bones started prediction. Channel point redeems can be used to start predictions. Did I get S tier on the mission? Nah, I didn't. Because here's the thing is, I made a mistake. I got hit quite a bit. I made a mistake near the end there. I don't know if you noticed. I made a mistake, like, near the end there. But I reckon just sticking to the classic, like, assault rifle and sword is an okay thing. And we're gonna move on to... We're still on chapter 1, by the way. Everyone else is being like, oh, yes, I have finished this twice. I have gone into New Game ++. I have not done that. So, I'm still at chapter 1 of like, I think it's 9 or something crazy like that.
They want you to assist with a mission the corporations are calling Operation Wall Climber.
We're climbing a wall.
This is V2 Snell, leader of the Vesper 2nd Squad. I will chair the briefing for this mission.
Okay.
This is an operation of my own design. Consider it a privilege to be called to participate.
You sound like a dick.
You will be attacking the Wall, a key trading outpost fortified by the Rubicon Liberation Front.
Okay.
The rabble have formed a defensive line comprised of artillery and MT squads. Break through the line, then make your way to the top of the wall. There you shall find the Juggernaut, a mobile heavy artillery platform. Destroy it. V4 will also be participating in this mission.
I don't have a lot of like vertical translation with my what's-mahoozy boosters. This is gonna be fun.
Not to die like a dog out there.
The fuck, Snail? This guy's a dick. All right, hang on a second. Ding ding ding. Also, I just realized I have so much of their like gear on me. All right, I'm gonna swap from the, you know, the big like directional boosters back to something a little more generic. The boost speed will be lower, but I don't have to sacrifice like verticality when I do it.
Your objective is to take the liberation.
Hi there, Sky. Welcome to the stream. You'll either love or hate this mission. I think they showed this mission in like a... I was watching, it was either Skill Up or Iron Pineapple. They showed off this mission where basically, because I've dealt with the ACs that have like the big barrier thingy-majiggy on the front, and normally you just need to slice through them. But this was a boss where he has the armor plating on the front, so every shot at the front is a ricochet. But so you had to like basically go around him and kite, which was easy to do with a secondary AC helping you, but then he runs away. So then you have to try and do the same thing without the secondary.
Keep an eye out for cover.
Alrighty. I see him, he's there.
You'll never climb the wall, Corporation Dog! Coral! Abide with Rubicon!
AP at 50%.
Oh shit, I got hit hard real fast.
AP at 30%.
Okay, note to self. Don't die like a bitch. He's fast for... Alright, restart that mission. Don't keck W me. This is my first time in this mission, okay? No one has survived the battlefield on their first go, okay?
Commence mission.
Alright.
We'll start by clearing the way for Arquebus. Take out
So I need to get down there. He's doing some
MT
shots.
further in.
Um...
Fire coming from up top. 621. Keep an eye out for cover.
Alright, best means would be... probably using the rock face there, actually. What's more is that he's not going to have a very good time trying to hit me from here. Alright, cool. They're not fast moving. Whoop.
You'll never climb the walls, Corporation dog! Coral! Abide
Ow.
with Rubicon!
This is...
At 30%.
Alright, so... I get hit once and I'm gonna get stunned. It's gonna be like that, chat. It's gonna be like
Main
that.
system activating combat.
Alright.
Commence mission. We'll start by clearing the way for Arquebus. Take out the Gatling cannons protecting the city, and the Baus Tetrapod MT further in. There's heavy fire coming from up top. 621. Keep an eye out for cover.
You'll never climb the walls, Corporation dog! Coral! Abide with Rubicon!
I love how the Soviet housing is indestructible.
Gatling cannons destroyed. The friendly MT squad will take care of the city. You take care of the Baus Tetrapod MT 621.
There's gonna be a lot of like warning, missile lock, warning. All right, Yunk. And they're all along that wall there. I'm going to need to have a good plan for how I'm going to get through that.
Horse and axe, we stand as one! Die, mercenary!
Getting a head spot. There's an AC behind us.
Number one!
Oh, that was not the direction I wanted to go. Oh, Jesus! Ah, fuck you. I thought my sword had enough distance. There we go.
Baus Tetrapod MT eliminated. That significantly reduces the threat in the city.
Alrighty.
Access the bulkhead and break into the wall.
It's really like you get a whole cockpit blaring at you. I imagine one of like the first mods is going to be someone getting the commands from a like an actual like F-16 or something like that, where it's like retard, pull up, and all it's like terrain and all those kinds of noises. Because someone, I remember someone doing this where they got the they got those noises and they put them into the trench run in Star Wars A New Hope. That one was honestly like very funny to listen to because it was just blaring the entire time.
Confirmed.
Over G, over G, over.
Be prepared for close quarters combat.
All right, B. All right, T.
Do you read me? This is V4 Rusty. You're fast. Guess you're
Reload
sharper
that
than they
real
say.
quick.
I'll have to step up my own game. A numbered Vesper is an elite. But remember, even Balaam couldn't crack the wall. Don't count on him too much.
There we go. I'm still not judging the distance of the sword correctly.
We're taking too much fire!
There we go. All right. Freebird was Freebird was playing. If I have an opportunity to do that Michael Bayhem shit where we're just like spinning as we're falling from the sky, I will try. Don't you worry.
Target is close.
Freebird, yeah. Do 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 do. Here we go. Hit your Telegram with a meme related to cockpit noises. I appreciate it, Avalon. I will have a check of it most likely after this mission.
2 repair kits remaining.
Oh, hiya, Bookie. Welcome to the stream. All right, what kind of supply is this? Hey, it replenishes both the repairs and the ammo. That's cool. So I could go for like higher grade ammunition if I could somehow get like some sort of armor piercing sort of missiles or one of the more, you know, heavy duty low ammunition kind.
You must be Raven.
Oh, it redos. Oh, I wasted a.
As Handler Walters house.
Okay, I didn't really waste a repair kit because I got the repair kit bat from the resupply, but I didn't use any repair kits in the first bit. And yeah.
You ready to climb the wall?
All right, let's have a look-sees.
That's the Juggernaut, a heavy mobile cannon.
Ah, shit! I didn't dodge at the right time.
Steel haze. I'll distract it while you hit its blind spot. Watch out, it's coming.
Come on. Just let me. I don't exactly have all the time in the world, so I need to be very mindful about. Why are you so interested in me? God damn you. I cannot be hitting you that hard for aggro.
That's the stuff. Walter knows how to pick 'em. This is V4. Understood. Raven,
damn it.
From Snail at command. We've got enemy reinforcements incoming. If I don't intercept them, we're both toast. Hate to leave you like this, but you'll have to finish without me. He's gone. So much for our decoy.
Oh, Jesus. Keep the aggro going. Oh, shit. Arrgh. I'm just not dodging far. Maybe I should have kept the thingy-majiggy that goes like the vroom.
That's the Juggernaut. A heavy mobile.
There we go. All right.
I wouldn't recommend taking it head on. It won't be able to keep up with Steel Haze. I'll distract it while you hit its blind spot. Watch out. It's coming.
You go suck a lemon, furry cures.
That's the stuff. Walter knows how to pick 'em.
Oh, sweet. That makes it like big damage for the sword. I don't have like a lot of things that do like high impact like the sword does.
Update from Snail at command.
Oh, Jesus.
We've got enemy reinforcements incoming. If I don't intercept them, we're both toast. Hate to leave you like this, but you'll have to finish without me. He's gone. So much.
Oh, he's dropping mines.
AP at 50%.
Damn it. Nope, 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 nope. Move, 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 move.
AP at 50%.
Oh, come on. Move to the left.
1 repair kit remaining.
God damn, he hits like a truck. Shit.
AP at 30%.
I should have learned that if he's gonna ram me at the front that I am not gonna be able to slice him.
AP at 30%.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, run forward.
Left shoulder ammunition at 50%.
Damn it. Hits like a truck, I wonder why. Okay, fine. I also just like wasted a whole ton of ammunition, like trying to do like a little bit of damage at the front.
Heavy mobile cannon.
Why aren't you auto-targeting when I...
It won't be able to keep up with Steel Haze. I'll distract it while you hit its blind spot.
Oh, that's a cool move.
knows how to pick 'em. This is V4. Understood. Raven, I just got an update from Snail at command. We've got enemy reinforcements incoming. If I don't intercept them, we're both toast. Hate to leave you like this, but you'll have to finish without me.
Oh, goddamn you.
He's gone. So much for our decoy.
Can you, like, get out of the corner, please? Come on, ram me. I know you want to. There we go. Oh, Jesus.
AP at 50%.
Come on. Ram me. Okay, so he pulls back, and then... There we go! I'm hoping that because of, like, the delay in trying to get the missiles off, that because he, like, goes right past me, I have the opportunity to... Oop. That's an interesting move. Come on. No. Alright. Nope, I'm not gonna... Do not use the left trigger to try and, like, close the distance. You're not gonna be able to close the distance.
AP at 30%.
God damn you.
Light shoulder ammunition at 50%.
Darn. Morning, Ingram. Welcome to the stream. All right, I'm gonna have a look at my Telegram. When a strong enemy seems like an impossible challenge, it's most likely the assembly of your AC is working against you. Check the mercenary support simulator to see how your AC assembly changes your options. I would love to believe you.
Go suck a lemon.
You go suck a lemon. Like, oh. Hang on. Rather than that, let's go with the plasma rifle because the plasma rifle does like this damage over time thing, and I wonder if it's going to be able to go through the armor because of it. We'll keep to the sword. That still does like a high impact nonsense. And then restart from checkpoint. Does that work? Do I have to go through the whole thing again because of different weapon? No, I do not. Excellent. Oh, Jesus.
Mobile cannon. I wouldn't recommend taking it head on. It won't be able to keep up with steel haze. I'll distract it while you hit its
Nice.
blind spot. Watch out. It's coming. That's the stuff. Walter knows how to...
Ow! I forgot you reverse. Three, two, one.
This is V4. Understood. Raven, I just got an update from Snail at command.
Come on, come on, come on, come on. And bonk.
If I don't intercept them, we're both toast. Hate to leave you like this, but you'll have to finish without me. He's gone. So much for our decoy.
Get out from there. Come on.
AP at 30%.
Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yep, there we go. Thank you, Angro, for thinking I got this.
AP at 30%.
Woo! Alright, let me just get out of the way of, like, all the different... There we go.
Confirmed. Juggernaut destroyed.
Thank you for the Hyper Himbo, Angrel. And also, hi there, Masonic.
But
Eee!
Rusty, it seems he knew who you
Go
really
suck a
are.
lemon.
Alright.
Won't matter. I've taken that contingency into account.
Don't funk me. I am doing well. Also, I got a little bit of oil on me. Oh my gosh. The repair costs are a bit much, but hey, at least I got some bonus pay. How did I get it? Generic weaponry destroyed, artillery destroyed. Where is Patches? I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. I doubt we're gonna get Patches or the great Moonblade, whatever the fuck it's called. How's it going, Knack? Hey, we got a new message. Hey, stop looking at my ass. We got a message to read. Or it will
We're
be
war
told this
buddies
was.
now. I think I should tell you something.
Alright, Rusty.
During Operation Wall Climber, Arquebus was planning to sacrifice you. The plan was to use independent mercenaries to clear the way so that the Vespers could step in and take over. But instead, you took the wall. The higher-ups are going to remember you now, that's for sure.
That's good.
As will I.
Nice! Also, stop looking at my ass. New exercises unlocked and new parts to purchase. Nice. Alright, what kind of parts can we get? A pulse gun, a rapid-fire pulse gun developed by Takagawa Harmonix. They destroy with high sustained, high-frequency oscillation, canceling out pulse defenses that use the same technology. Oh, that's a weird-looking one. My god, that looks like it looks like it does a lot of damage to the thingamadig. So yeah, I'll give that a purchase just so we have that at the ready. And then we've got a new laser blade. Okay, so it only does one concussive hit.
Go suck a lemon.
You go suck a lemon. So, does a lot more impact than our... But the thing is that I only have, like, the one strike. If I fuck that up way too often to make it worthwhile. Assault rifle, hand cannon, there's the oscillating thingy-madoog. Plasma. Let's grab the laser rifle on the opposing hand, just in case. Alright, so we got a laser cannon. Let's see, what is this? Yeah, that basically just completely destroys them. And then an active homing missile. Oh, I remember seeing that thing. I don't know if it works well into a thingamadiggy. You like the laser over pulse, to be honest. It's AoE, but more... No. The plasma is the AoE. Laser just... Hang on a second. I'm pretty sure laser just, like, hang on. Let's look at the video. Laser is, like, very focused and such. Plasma has the... Plasma has the thingamadoogs that to do like this thing. You're thinking of Plasma. That's the one that has the AoE, which is what I was trying to use in the laser blade. This one. Oh, they don't really demonstrate it very well here. But again, it's only one strike. I'm not a huge fan of like I want to be able to do my secondary sword thingy. All right, so left bumper can give me. All right, what is this? Plasma missile launcher does a little thingamadiggy, and then yep. That's the vertical missile launcher. Laser. All right. So right bumper is for the pulse buckler. And then pulse shield. What's the difference? Impact damaging is a lot higher. It takes a lot longer to cool down, however. I think I'd rather use a shield than a buckler. IG mitigation, deployment heat buildup. And then, so that's the active homing, and then that's the plasma. We've got different heads we can utilize. I've already got the head I'd like.
Pull the lever, Bronk.
No, don't pull the... Hey, we can get tetrapod and tank wheels now. All right, so we got reverse joint. We got the the tetrapod looks all right. This model focuses on mobility to enable hover-based fire support, and then this allows for like, you know, heavier weapons load. And then, ooh, different kind of booster. A little more efficient. The ideal weight is like a lot higher. AB thrust and okay. Second generation FCS is deployed by... Alright, long range doesn't do too well, but is a substantial increase over the medium range and is a little bit better for the close range. Yeah, I'll go for that one. And then we got new generators, circulating current, EN capacity to output. It supplies more raw power than any other corporate on the market. Meanwhile, this thing is twice as heavy. But... Alright, give me a sec. So there's the laser thingy-majiggy. We're gonna give... Alright, I didn't purchase any of the overheads. I probably should think about purchasing a new thingy-majiggy at some point. But yeah, second generation FCSG2. So this is the P10 SLT. Designed for... Hang on a second. Missile lock-on correction is 150 with a multi-correction. This one has better, like, assistance on the close and mid-range. To be honest, I never use the shields, because I have no idea where they fit on the AC. I think they fit, like, I think they're the same sort of thing as, like, the parry system in Dark Souls, where it's all about timing and is more beneficial for those who, it's probably more beneficial for those who, you know the timing of their different, like, adversaries and what have you. Actually, hang on a sec. So we'll keep to... And then this one will go for... Let's see how that goes. But it looks like I might need to think about getting other kinds of things to put on my shoulder. So, let's see. Plasma missile launcher, active homing, vertical thingamadoogs. I'm gonna get the shield, just in case that might be worthwhile for, like, assembly purposes. And then over on the opposing side... Alright, let's have a look. So this is the... Alright, so this is the dual system. Higher attack power and impact. but not by much. That one has a much higher impact and is 8 missiles instead of 4. The effective range is reduced. Lock-on time is almost a second. Total rounds is higher. Reload time takes longer. Ammo cost is higher. And this one has a very high ammo cost, but has a substantial... but the targeting system I have isn't beneficial for missile launchers, though. So... let's give the... Alright, let's purchase a cannon. Tetrapods. Let's give the tetrapod system a test. It can be 2 strikes, but it's charged up. Yeah, well, it says 2 strikes. Alright, in the air, you press A to hover. Oh, okay. Nice. Charge attacks and fires such as cause more recoil than other attacks, forcing to assume a firing stance, are capable of absorbing this kind of recoil, allowing these attacks to be executed while movement. Not doing a really good job with the shields, peeps. Allow you to maintain a high altitude, making it easier to establish the line of fire and lock on without geographical obstructions. I can spend a lot of time in the air, which is gonna waste up a lot of the energy from the AC. Hey, we get ourselves a grenade launcher for our troubles. Alright, what's the next training? Tank AC. Alright. With drifting! That'll be cool. Heavily armored and boost excellent loading capacity. In addition to lending themselves to highly durable builds, they are also good candidates for high firepower simplicity. Tank-type ACs are capable of absorbing recoil, which allows them to fire heavy weapons without entering a firing range. That's kind of cool. Can drift quickly to change directions they are facing. To execute a drift, move in the direction you want to face immediately after a boost. Nice. taking a bit to get used to. Yeah. I like the cannon on the right shoulder, but my god, it takes a while to reload. It's a bit crazy. We want to sacrifice you, but you're overpowered. Yeah. Alright, so we get we get the vertical missile launcher. What's the next piece of training? Advanced Mercenary Certification. Okay. Training subjects and adaptability. Alright, let's see how we go. Oh, this is my own mecha as well. During real missions, you can expect enemy reinforcements and other changes in the situation. The test of an advanced mercenary is their ability to adjust to a wide range of combat scenarios and adapt their AC assembly to meet the needs of the mission. All right. There we go. There we go. I keep thinking my left trigger is gonna be like a sword, like an idiot. There we go. Mission complete. Oh, there's an advertisement that's gonna start in like 2 minutes. And I have cleared all the training programs as apparently my
Incoming call.
thingy-majiggy. How many people have completed it? 32% of people have completed all the training.
Congratulations on your certification.
Oh my goodness, that's
You have proven
not a
your
lot.
skills by completing the entire combat training regimen.
Yay, thank you.
Registration number RB23. Call sign, Raven.
When the advertisement goes off, I'm gonna go get myself another bottle of ice maca to keep myself awake. To be honest, you never... Oh yeah, I already read that. You have now completed the thingy-majiggy. I am now an advanced mercenary. Nice. Alright. AC designs. Any new weaponry? Not here. Ooh. Okay, so that's where the grenade launcher was. Which was where I was getting the sword. let's have the laser cannon. Because we're going to give the laser cannon a try. Let's see. This one was a bit of a weirdie. There's no impact. And I have not dealt with, like, pulse defenses. Swap to the laser handgun here and to the sword. Actually, yeah. That should be alright. Yeah, that should be alright. And then, yep, we can buy the grenade thingy-majiggy there if we wanted to. Vertical missile launcher. Alright, we don't have a lot of money. Alright. Battle log pending. Alright. Missions. Recover at least 5 combat logs from MT wreckages. Must be complete within the time limit. Extra based off thingamajiggy infiltrate, and determine why it went silent. Alright, let's start with the combat logs first. Bam, boom.
Got a job for you, 621.
Beep boop. Beep boop. E621. Please stop looking at furry porn and start doing your mission.
Attention, Gun 13 Raven! This request comes from our affiliate Dafeng. We're conducting an investigation into the Vespers, Arquebus's augmented human squad. Currently our focus is on their 4th squad leader, V4 Rusty.
I fought with them.
Rusty took during Operation Wall Climber and retrieved combat logs from the wrecks he left on his way in. The wall is now under Arquebus's control, and they stationed their MT squads there for the Coral Survey.
Alrighty, so...
As such, he'll be targeting the brief window where their main force is deployed elsewhere.
Go suck a lemon.
You go suck a lemon.
Keep an eye on the time and retrieve as many logs as you can. That concludes the briefing.
Chat has come together and thinks
We
you should
expect
do
prompt
20
results, Gun
squats during
13.
the break.
Alright, I'm gonna do my 20 squats. Hopefully I can do this relatively quickly and get my iced maca afterwards. Oh, don't look at my butt! I'll up the price of that cake cam. Alright, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Stop looking at my ass. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Thank you for the 20 squats. I'm gonna get my ice maca. Alrighty. Slap this back on. Your titties are going, yeah, that's what happens when I do my squats, because the camera doesn't track my full body. It just tracks the face and a weird estimation, and then my hands because of the leap motion on my chest. Alrighty, okay, so cannon might not be the best option. Missile launchers will probably be better. And let's go with the plasma rifle, because then that way I can... Yep. Alright, should be good.
Go suck a lemon.
You go suck a lemon. Alright, we're gonna get those logs.
621. You should be used to Rubicon by now. Time to take a break from shooting up the place.
I don't know. I feel like we're gonna be shooting up the place. Like, a lot. Slap you over here.
Main system activating combat mode.
Alright.
Commence mission. Search the nearby wrecks for combat logs recording engagements with V4 Rusty.
Huh? We've got company.
Unidentified AC.
Open fire! Kill the intruder!
That's what we're looking for, 621. I'll analyze it on my end.
Video extracted from a wreck, allowing one to discern the assembly of V4's Rusty AC Steel Haze. You missed the quote, bot. Not to worry. The Steel Haze appears to be assembled from a Schneider high-mobility frame equipped with weapons that allow for swift, agile action. Notably, Rusty appears to favor kinetic weapons that Vesper members would not normally use.
This is useful.
Okay.
Got visuals on V4's AC assembly.
1221 paid me to say this is a really tall one. Jesus.
Analyzing log.
Can't beat the top Vespers. We're as good as dead. At least Z is off duty. She's the Liberation Front's little sister. She doesn't deserve to be out here on the battlefield. She can still love and be loved and have a family.
Worthless.
Stop! What are you doing here?
That makes 3 logs.
Come on, let me access it. 3, 2, 1, and done. Extracted contains leftover data from an attempt to communicate with V4 Rusty during combat. They know. Okay, so they know who Rusty is. So, did he betray the Liberation Front?
Could be worth something.
Alright, where's the next, where's the next smoke pile? Because we've dealt with... Alright, here's another one. Hopefully that's a...
You! AC pilot! You're no comrade of ours, are you? Wait! You killed them all!
Little Z. Oh, I know that. That's the person that was mentioned in the other thingamadiggy. Rusty's encrypted file. When it comes, your long-will technology, Elcano. You must hide them.
Survivor. It'll just hold us up if you engage her. The mission comes before everything else.
Shameless! Corporate dog!
Allow one to examine the commands received by the craft prior to its destruction. No data regarding offensive or evasive maneuvers. It appears the pilot of the craft immediately pulled the emergency eject lever.
Nothing we can sell here.
Not interested, woman, in trying to... There we are. Goddamn robots. Did I record that one? I can't remember.
Analyzing.
Here we are. Indicate that the FCS was operating at maximum capacity and yet it was still unable to track the enemy. It was completely overwhelmed by Rusty's speed. clearly a one-sided engagement.
This gives us some more insight about V4 skills.
Alright, let's see if we can find more wrecks.
Go suck a lemon.
You go suck a lemon. Alright. Balls Arsenal number 2. Let's see. Stationed. First glance, the recovered image depicts nothing out of the ordinary. However, on closer inspection, one can identify noise in one corner of the picture, indicative of digital interference. Potentially an effect of the monitor display deception. Oh, okay, I can see it in the bottom left there. So yeah, you're having a good... Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'll make a copy. I think the cores need more input. Wrap it up. Arquebus's main force will be here any minute now. We've got enough logs to satisfy the request. That's it for this job, 621. Return to base.
Alrighty. So I wasn't able to take her on. Why you gotta throw so many butts out there? Alright, well we got a little bit of cash from that, which is nice. We probably could have acquired more data logs. I feel like there's like 10 there. I feel like there was like 10 there.
Gun 13 Raven! You bagged us some decent intel on V4.
Get in the fucking robot. I have been 100% behind getting into the robot, okay? I'm not slacking.
You can call me sir. Privileged to be among Balaam's best, even if I am stuck whipping you independents into shape. Leave you me. I'm gonna put you to work.
Well, Balaam's got attitude.
Registration number RB23. Call sign, Raven. Your records have been updated.
Nice.
Granting authorization to perform ACOS upgrades.
Oh.
Additional. All Mind hereby invites you to the Arena Combat Aptitude Evaluation Program. The Arena is a virtual combat simulator designed to support the development of registered mercenaries. It also serves as a benchmark to appraise and rank the mercenaries active on Rubicon. We look forward to your participation.
Alright, OS tuning and thingy-majiggy. Extend OST chips in your possession to upgrade your AC's OS. Upgrading the OS unlocks features and improves functionality. The OS chips can be like grabbed in the thingy. Ah, okay. And we've got no OS chips. Unlock the weapon bay feature for shoulders, allowing to be replaced with additional hand weapons. Oh, that's interesting. Unlock the ability to sortie when AC is overburdened and to manually purge weapons. Huh. Manual aiming. That one might be good if I was using the keyboard and mouse again, but they have such weird controls for reloading. Unlock the quick turn feature, allowing to perform snap turns to sides or rears. Unlocks the core expansion assault armor and allows it to be installed. Creates pulse explosions centered on the AC, canceling out incoming enemy fire and a damaging area of effect. So that's assault armor. Pulse protection allows it to create a pulse barrier in a fixed position, providing cover from enemy fire until the barrier reaches its duration or limit. Armor is the same sort of thing. Terminal. Stop looking at my ass. I'll raise the prices. What's this? Optimize firing of kinetic... Oh, and then here's like the small upgrade things. Damage modified. Direct damaging and access speed. hacking and overrides, dynamic deflection controls, and repair kit optimization. Nice. So these unlock systems. The ability to perform a boost kick with heavy impact by combining the speed of an assault boost with the sheer weight of the AC. Ha! That one actually sounds pretty good. And then those are core... You go suck a lemon. Damage controls. Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and... Desert you. Alrighty. Alright, let's try 29F. Which is... Dozer is addicted to coral-based drugs, and in his perpetual adult state, he has convinced himself that he is an invincible demigod. Alright, let's give this guy a try. Let me... swap to a laser cannon. And let's try the pulse shield. Keep to the thingamadoogie. Right will be the plasma... Actually, rather than the plasma thing, we're gonna go for... I reckon he's gonna stick... I don't have the shotgun. Never mind. Alright. What's the linear rifle like? Alright. Ding, 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 ding. Seems good to me. No expansions. Alright, let's give this a try. Thought your arms weren't working for a second. No, they're working.
Welcome to the Arena Combat Aptitude.
There might have been a glitch or something when one of them like decided to stay like down in the bottom or something rather weird, but it's just a case of while I'm holding a controller, it's not doing a like unless I hold the controller like here. Mad stomps. Here we go.
Main system activating combat mode.
Oh, he still holds it out when he does that. God damn you. Now I gotcha. He's from the Foot Clan.
Target destroyed.
Alright.
Concluding evaluation.
Okay, so they're not as difficult as, well, the first guy wasn't as difficult as the others, but I imagine the difficulty is going to just go up and such like that. Verify, we got our 2 chips, and we acquired data on the Mad Stumped and acquired an emblem. Nice. Don't go bonking me. Alright, so we dealt with him. Let's deal with 28F. Let's try with the same rig. I'm not gonna change too much. I reckon it's alright. I might change from I might change the vertical missile launchers to normal missile launchers, but the cannon is useful.
Aptitude evaluation program. Number 28. Rank F.
Nice.
Subject AC. Burn pickaxe. Call sign. Index Dunham.
Alrighty.
Commencing evaluation.
A lot of close range sort of peeps.
System activating combat mode.
I remember this arena. Oh, he's moving. Now everyone on the battlefield can know you have a foot. I'm not gonna get the foot. I'm not gonna get the foot fetish emblem. I'm not gonna use that. I would sooner use like the 50% communism symbol that I got just recently from this match. But you know, we'll see what. I want to get a horse. I want to get a horse. Alrighty. Next. Oh, this guy got like a crab with a helmet and a cannon. That looks cool. Yes, of course I want the horse. Have you met me? Next. We are doing the business.
Arena Combat Aptitude Evaluation Program, number 27, rank F. Final evaluation.
Alrighty.
Subject AC, Hermit. Call sign, Gun 6, Red.
Bazooka and a hand cannon. So this guy is definitely going to want me to stop moving and do some big hits with the bazooka. So I need to be careful of the hand cannon belittling me.
Activating combat mode.
How far is he? I don't... The fuck is he? Oh, Jesus. Ow. Good hit. Oh, he's hitting me lower down than most other peeps.
AP at 30%.
Yes! That took a lot of damage out of me, but I got him. Oh, Jesus Christ, 931 armor points.
This concludes F rank evaluation. Well done.
That was close to being dunced. But a win is a win. Got a new emblem, which is nice. Does this unlock a new rank for me?
Incoming comms.
Hello?
Congratulations, you have surpassed rank F.
Yay!
To oversee your development as a mercenary. Allmind exists for all mercenaries.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. You do not meet the... Aww. Alright, alright, OS tuning. Right at the get-go, we're gonna get the kick, because we can. And then these are core expansions. All Mind is for all mercenaries. Yep, nothing suspicious at all. Allows it to be automatically triggers a pulse shield when the AP reaches its limit, greatly enhancing defense until the barrier reaches its durability or time limit. When equipped, it automatically activates. Yeah. Explosive fuse control, energy weapon, melee weapon damage, direct hit modifiers. Against staggered enemies, increasing damage dealt by direct hits. Optimizing hacking. Damage I'm gonna probably go for some damage mitigations, to be real with you. Oh, you need a lot of OS stuff to... Meanwhile, it only costs like 8,000 to reset. Alright, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. So that increases the melee weapons, that increases the energy, explosive. I'm gonna put the kinetic on. Alright, next sortie. Investigating the thingamadoogs. Alright. Tell me more, tell me more.
The client is the Rubicon Liberation Front. Here's the briefing.
The loss of the wall dealt us a heavy blow.
Oh, we're being hired by the
More
Rubicon.
than a corporate pawn. Perhaps we can even work together.
Okay.
I want you to investigate Baus Arsenal number 2, a major MT factory in the Bellius region. The Baus Corporation sells to anyone, but they've been essential to maintaining our firepower. Now, their second arsenal has gone silent overnight.
Huh. You know, I thought they would never hire me.
Comms failure, a simple check-in would do.
I honestly thought they would never hire me. I thought it was going to be a case of, oh, I'm always going to be, like, the bad guy, like the mercenary, for the corpos, and I would just be breaking down the Rubicon Liberation Front until they're gone. But it's interesting that we're getting a mission with them, and they're paying pretty highly. Alright, so we need to infiltrate and determine why it went silent. Alright, first and foremost, so that's... Oh, I was using a pulse shield. Oh, I'm an idiot. Yeah, never use the pulse shield again. Alright, so nothing in the expansion, so... Alright, let's have a look.
Some advice before you go, 621.
Advice?
Expect the unexpected.
Cool. I swear, if they betray me, that's gonna be some bullshit right there.
Main system activating combat mode.
Alrighty.
Mission. Investigate Baus Arsenal number 2. I've been checking the perimeter, and I'm picking up nothing. What happened here?
Translation, it will not be quiet. You are absolutely correct. It will not be quiet.
It's too quiet. Watch out, 621.
Oh, God.
621. Watch its shots and see where they're coming from. Of course. MDD. Stick to it like glue. You'll lose it if it gets too far.
The fuck did it go? There you are. I hate how you disappear. Thank you for the boop. There you are.
MDD. Encoded comms. Was that mech behind what happened here?
You go suck a lemon.
Continue the investigation.
How do you not remember this? I thought you finished this game already, Avalon. I thought you were an expert. I thought yous was an expert.
It's got you in its sights. Another one of those stealth mechs. Don't let it outpace you, 621.
go.
621. I think there's more than one this time. Use your scanner. Mark your targets to undermine their tricks.
There we go.
Unidentified machine down.
That's a lot of them.
Keep going and stay sharp.
That guy, like, snuck up on me as well. That was kind of insane. And I've only taken, like, one hit so far.
According to the blueprint, there's a massive water reservoir deep inside the arsenal.
Okay.
If there's anything waiting for us, that's where it'll be.
In the water, you're saying? Turn on the boost.
Wait, 621, behind you.
I see you. Got you. Alright, that's you.
Chat has come together and thinks you should do 20 squats during the break.
Oh, I forgot to do the thingamadiggies. So, I forgot to say, yes, 20 squats done. That was my mistake. No one else has done, like, squat routines because I forgot to do the whole, yes, I completed the 20 squats in the previous stream. I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. That was my bad. My bad in DDDs. Alright, I'll just have a look at chat. Did I miss anything? Oh, thank you for the boops unnamed. I didn't realize the boops happened. Hi, I'm playing Armored Core. Let's see. Knack the cow. Translation, it will not be quiet. You are absolutely correct. It will not be quiet. And it so far has not been quiet. Oh, there's a photo mode? Interesting. Exit photo mode, yes. Alright, here we go. There we go. That's all of them.
All clear. Keep going, 621.
Why would I ever use anything other than this slide? Like... Ridic. Alright.
Is that a choral response? 621.
Oh, what?
Get down and take a closer look. No doubt about it. This water.
Go suck a lemon.
I'm guessing this is the quote-unquote coral.
It contains faint traces of coral. Must have been an underground vein. Baus was hiding a well all this time. 621, above you. Three of them. No, four. You're outnumbered. Pick them off one by one, 621.
Yeah, kind of difficult to do so.
One of them's deploying pulse armor. It won't be easy to break. Prioritize the others.
Two repair kits remaining.
There you are. Oop.
Is that a coral response? 621, get down and take a closer look. No doubt about it. This water. It contains faint traces of coral. Must have been an underground vein. Baus was hiding a well all this time.
Damn it. Can't really get out of this.
621, above you. One by one, 621.
AP active.
One of them's deploying pulse armor. It won't be easy to break. Prioritize the others. One unidentified mech down.
Okay, how in the fuck?
50%.
Another dealt with. Stay focused, 621.
I cannot fucking see them.
Finish them off.
Well, he knows where to fire from, that's for sure. There we go.
Seems that's the last of them. This wasn't a simple check-in after all. Head back and rest up, 621.
Alright, so coral is like a fuel source, I believe, on this planet. It has some, like, crazy-ass properties, but that's about as much as we're gonna get from it. Pretty good pay from the Liberation Front, to be honest with you. I wonder if they're properly utilizing the coral. Oh.
Long time no see, Walter. Looking good for a change.
Hi, Cinder.
I see you've got a new augmented human. What happened to 617 and the rest?
Their jobs. They did what it took to get us here.
Huh. So how's the newcomer doing?
Hopefully good.
Adequately. But Gen 4 augmentation can be unstable. We need to choose our battles. How's things on your end?
I found the data our friends left behind. There's something promising in the watch point.
Why do you do this, FromSoft? Why do you, like... Why do you keep so much from us? I don't know what the watch point is. I don't know what friends you're talking about.
One new message.
I see you're back, 621. About the coral well that was found at Baus Arsenal number 2. That was just a drip coming from an underground vein, and it won't last long. It's not the coral we're searching for. One more thing. I've sent you your next job. This one isn't from the Corps or the Liberation Front. You'll see when you check the briefing.
Hang on a second, I need to do... Someone already had a womb tattoo decal for their mech? Oh my goodness. Like, are you talking about one of those, like, crotch tattoo things? Or are you talking about something else completely different? Alright, can't do any of those. Can't do any OS tuning. Oh, I can get assault armor. Creates a pulse explosion centered on the AC. Nice. That's probably the expansion. Barely costs anything to put them in, which is nice. Ooh, AC data. Hang on. User 1, save that. Hey, that's like my earlier thingamadoogs. Loader 4. Downloaded, and then these are some of the presets. Wait, why can't I... Contextual help. Dun 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 dun. I want to find... Like, why is it red? Like, is it just saying that I'm missing something? It's probably telling me I'm missing some stuff. You go suck a lemon. Okay, so that's what you're talking about. Yeah, that's just a crotch tattoo. It's not called a womb, because, like, womb is very specific. Crotch is, like, a region. And then we've got image editors. And then we got share IDs. Then we got decals we can put on. Nice. Can I yep. Ah, and then I can do, like, custom ones if I wanted. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Alright, and then create images for decals or pilots. Noted. Next sortie. Attack the watch point. Eliminate the SG squad in the watchtower and destroy the device in the control tower at the center of the complex. This concludes the chapter. Okay. I don't know, Furry-Cures, but I will be real with you. I've read a lot of doujinshins that have that feature.
Concerns a certain facility.
It's a personal pref.
It regulated the underground flow of coral. Now it serves to monitor the dormant veins. I want you to attack it. Your objective will be to destroy the sensor valve at its core. The watch point is kept secure by SG, the planetside PCA force, which means it's too hot for the corporations to be seen there. In other words, we're flying strictly solo on this one.
Oh, I actually need to ask... I need to ask someone a question real quick. Hang on a second, hang on a second. Where are they? Where are they? There they are.
Go suck a lemon.
You go suck a lemon.
Icy is cute, boo boo.
Icy is cute. I will agree to that. Alrighty, here we go. Alright, let's just go with this.
You'll be going in
53% is pretty good.
Be ready for anything. It's go time, 621. Don't worry, not even the PCA would anticipate a solo independent mercenary. Get in there and get to work.
Main system activating combat mode.
Leave no evidence. If anyone sees you, handle it.
Alrighty.
Code 1-5. Intruder sighted. It's just one AC. Who are they with? We can look into that later. Engaging.
I've been... Oh. Well, that's not very deep.
Code 7-8. Requesting backup. I can't get through to HQ.
Cavalry isn't coming. Wipe them out, 621. Confirmed. Enemy squad destroyed. Move on to the next area.
Alrighty. Here we go, here we go, here we go.
Where did that AC come from? What happened to the patrol squad?
Code 1-8. All units deploy for combat.
You're exposed to snipers from all quarters. Keep moving or they'll shoot you down.
Code 3-1C. We've taken critical damage.
Oh, gotta reload.
Updating your marker data. Proceed
It's Mahimbo. Are you E621? Yes. I have made this joke earlier, and I cannot believe not enough furries are making this joke about how our pilot is titled is designated 621. They could, like, so many E621 jokes could be existing, but they don't.
Make your way in.
Donk. Life is a highway. I'm gonna ride it all night long.
Attacking a watch point. You're incorrigible, Handler Walter.
Hi.
Your dogs must I kill before you learn.
Okay, so he's got a plasma and he...
Sula. Pitiful dog. I feel sorry for you. I really do. You may have survived a little longer. Only you had a different master.
C-1249. Sula. He's an independent mercenary who survived first-gen augmentation. Don't think twice, 621. Kill him before he kills you.
Where's 619 and 620? Dead? Which ones did I kill, I wonder?
Don't let him bait you. Focus.
Quantum Gen 4 slot. I hear you make fine hounds with the right training. Shame you'll have to die here.
AP at 30%. AP at 50%.
I tried the expansion to see how that would suit. It didn't do too much, and I jumped into that. Got him.
Stay away from the watch point.
Confirmed. Enemy AC destroyed. Forget about him, 621. You did good today.
Yay. Teach me your ways. Keep moving and keep shooting. That is the best advice I have so far. I do not have much skill in this, I'm gonna be real with you. Avalon has better skills than me, I'm pretty sure. There's no iframes in the AC. Well, that's annoying. I would have loved to have some iframes. Like, that's like half the whatsamahoozies, Alright, here we go. What do you think are the chances we're gonna get an even, like, heavier boss in this one? Infiltrate control center and destroy target device.
There. Destroy the device in the center.
Mm-hmm.
Good job, 621. We're done here. Head back to base.
Uranina Zach paid me to say, damn it, Grant, teach me the furry lore. I want
Oh,
to
the furry lore. So there's a website called E621.
621, get out of there.
And you go to this site for, like, it's a furry images board where you go there for all sorts of different artwork or what have you of furries and such, and it has like all these tags and shit. Monosodium glutamate. I don't know what that is, Avalon.
An older type of augmented human, 4th generation.
Who are you? Is it for porn? It can be.
Contact? I am Air, a Rubiconian. Please, you must wake up. Before your consciousness is forever scattered in the coral flow.
Augmented human C4621. Vital signs confirmed. Disabling autopilot. Establishing comms link with him.
Raven. I've identified an approaching enemy. I'll synchronize with your brainwaves.
The fuck is that?
Contact to support you.
The shit! Great!
Main system, reactivating combat mode. I've looked into the enemy craft. It's an autonomous PCA craft, Bauteus. You'll have to break its pulse armor to inflict meaningful damage. Pulse armor down. Now's your chance, Raven.
Ow.
I've taken your comms link offline for now. That massive dose of coral nearly killed you. Please, you have to focus on winning this.
AP at AP.
I'm sorry, Raven.
She sounded so disappointed. She's like, oh, you didn't defeat him in your first try. That's what E621 is monosodium glutamate. Welcome to Balturus, aka baby carrier fuck. Alrighty then. Let's give it another try.
Main system, reactivating combat mode. I've looked into the enemy craft. It's an autonomous PCA craft, Bauteus. You'll have to break its pulse armor to inflict meaningful damage.
AP at 50%.
Jesus Christ, he hits hard.
Picking up a massive heat signature. Evasive action, Raven. Pulse armor down. Now's your chance, Raven. I've taken your comms link offline for now. That massive dose of coral nearly killed you.
Ow.
I'm sorry, Raven.
He's saying it's MSG. Yeah, I get what Avalon was talking about. I can't do two thingy-madiggies with a lot of brain power at once. Chat is one kind of brain power, and sometimes it will like creep into the brain power of this one.
Main system, reactivating combat mode. I've looked into the enemy craft. It's an autonomous PCA craft, Bauteus. You'll have to break its pulse armor to inflict meaningful damage. Picking up a massive heat signature. Evasive action, Raven.
AP at 50%.
Pulse armor down. Now's your chance, Raven.
Ah.
Your comms link offline for now.
Yeah.
That massive dose of coral nearly killed you. Please, you have to focus on winning this. The enemy has taken heavy damage. Keep it up, Raven.
AP at 50%.
And he's got his shields back up again.
Raven, get clear.
AP at 30%.
Ow. Ow. Okay, so he's got like phases. This is why Grant needs me for BG3, not enough brain power. Absolutely correct. Neither you and I can go through BG3 like fast enough. So one thing's for certain, we need to do this together. I see you, however, going through the game yourself, though. How's it going? Oh, and Code. Can we get a shout out for Code the Yoshi if there's another moderator in the chat? How is Baldur's Gate 3 like offline and such? And I can, oh god damn you.
It's an autonomous PCA craft, Bauteus. You'll have to break its pulse armor to inflict meaningful damage.
AP at 50%.
Picking up a massive heat signature. Evasive action, Raven.
Yep. Oh, that's why I'm not auto-locking on. Jesus.
Pulse armor down. Now's your chance, Raven. I've taken your comms link offline for now. That massive dose of coral nearly killed you. Please, you have to focus on winning this.
1 repair kit from AP at 30%.
Oh boy, it's gonna be one of those, isn't it?
AP at 50%. AP at 30%.
I'm sorry, Raven.
Welcome to yeah, this is like one of the many great steps. I've actually seen on Twitter so many people like you might need to grind the poll a little bit. Like this, yeah, as you said, the great filter. And I think the issue is that, oh Jesus.
I've looked into the enemy craft. It's an autonomous PCA craft, Bauteus. You'll have to break its pulse armor to inflict meaningful damage. Picking up a massive heat signature. Evasive action, Raven.
AP at 50%.
Pulse armor down. Now's your chance, Raven.
Okay, could you like not be floating so high? Remember, no iframes. I know, and it's like, how am I supposed to counter missiles?
Killed you. Please, you have to focus on winning this.
AP at 30%. 2 repair kits remain AP at 50%.
All right, so 2 things. 1, I need to get through pulse shields. 2, I need to have like better...
Sipping time sponsored by Uraninazak.
All right, let me grab the water and take a sip. Alrighty. Let's have a look. So, increases velocity in turn, increasing damage. This It's suitable for canceling out pulse defenses. And then let's see. Fires in bursts. Yep, pulse gun. There we go. Like, because I knew it said earlier it bypasses, like, it cancels out pulse defenses, which is why they gave us this in the, like, because that was like a weirdly unique weapon in the shop and such. And then they had like they had a laser sword as well. But I can't purchase that here. Centered on allowing each shot to deal significant to multiple targets in a wide area. Oh no, I'm gonna keep to the pulse. The laser cannon is useful. And I'm gonna give the shield a try, which is left bumper. Because maybe that will help against the, And then we're gonna grab this booster here, so then that way we get, like, a lot of, like, you know, boom, boom. Like, we'll be able to, like, you know, clear out of the thingy-majiggies, like, a lot better. We'd get a shortfall if we use that. Let's see. Keep it modest while giving us capable thingamadoogs. Alright, so our boost speed would increase. The weight would greatly reduce. But then we lose out on recharge, supply recovery. Alright, so there's a number of things we haven't been able to purchase. Alright, so how does this thing work? Okay, so it does a big pulse. Canceling out incoming enemy fire and creating a damaging area of effect. Okay, lots of people sleep on the pulse guns too. They're stupid good at... Yeah, because, like, even though it's like a boom, 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 where it's like balls of light and such, I still... like, you saw the other guy using it. It's fairly useful. Alright, let's try from the checkpoint. And let's see how we go.
Main system, reactivating combat mode.
Oh, wrong thingy!
I've looked into the enemy craft. It's an autonomous PCA craft, Bauteus. You'll have to break its pulse armor to inflict meaningful damage.
Ow.
AP at 50%.
Ooh, Jesus. Yeah, that's just carving through the shield right now, as you can see. I think this is why it's called, like, a filter, is because everyone that goes through the, everyone that's going through this match and with the with the Dark Souls FromSoft's, like, methodology and thing, everyone is thinking, oh, Jesus. Be careful of the pulse.
AP at 30%.
Come on. Oh, it overheats. Fuck.
50%. Right-hand ammunition at 50%.
Oh, shit. I do not have a lot of weapons for this. Ow, I am not aiming correctly.
The enemy has taken heavy damage. Keep it up, Raven.
Right-hand ammunition AP at 50%. AP at 30%.
The waves are intensifying. Raven, get clear.
Oh, and...
I'm sorry, Raven.
That's the furthest I've gone as well. Like, this is the furthest stage I get to. We're gonna need to fix some things, because, like, the pulse shielding is... Or not... The shield is... I'm not using it correctly. I'm not... let's see. We got vertical missile launch. Alright, hang on. I think I've got... No, laser cannon is there. I really don't want to exit just to do purchases and grind. So we got the pulse gun there. Pulse Blade is just as useful. We can't put on the grenade launcher because then we get an EN shortfall. Same for the laser. Alright. So yeah, we swapped over to missile launchers again. Alright. So you were saying about the from... Oh, so... Earlier, like, especially in Elden Ring, like, everyone was like, oh, you can play whatever kind of, build you want in Elden Ring. Everyone in Elden, like, who was playing Elden Ring and such were like, oh, you could do a dexterity, or an intelligence, or a dexterity intelligence, or faith, strength faith, or just full strength. I don't think that kind of mentality can apply here anymore, where it's like, oh, you need to...
2 repair kits remaining.
Oop, yep.
Pulse armor down. Now's your chance, Raven.
Come on, and... Give me the lock. Lock, 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 lock. There we go. Oh, Jesus. Fuck.
You have to focus on winning this.
AP at 30%.
Oop. So, with From Software, there's so much of, like, earlier Dark Souls and such like that where they were like, oh yeah, like, there's, like, you can just commit to a build that, you know, suits you or something like that, and you will do all right. Whereas in Armored Core, that's not, I feel like that's not applicable. Like, because, oh, Jesus. Oh, fuck.
The enemy has taken heavy damage. Keep it up, Raven.
Ow.
At 30%.
And there we go. So,
I'm sorry, Raven.
So, like, yeah, what you need to, with Armored Core, you can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna commit to, like, you know, reverse joint, dual pistols, and the rockets on the back. You can't commit to one build. You have to play to the strengths to overcome other, like, there's an obvious, like, oh, if they throw in tank, I gotta go kiting. If they throw in pulse, I gotta counter it. Like, it's this game of, like, oh, he's throwing rock, scissors. He throws paper, I gotta avoid using rock. It's that kind of stuff, which is, like, that's the biggest difference between Armored Core and Elden Ring, is that Armored Core is not, it's not beneficial to stick to, you know, the thing that plays well with you. It's like, no, you gotta play well in the thing that works. I beat this AC that was like 6 or 7, 8. No, but AP is not the thing. Like, it's like let's try this again with, because I can't, this is about as much.
Main system, reactivating combat mode. I've looked into the enemy craft. It's an autonomous PCA craft, Bauteus. You'll have to break its pulse armor to inflict meaningful damage.
Damn it. I can't see it. There we go.
Pulse armor down. Now's your chance, Raven. I've taken your comms link offline for now. That massive dose of coral nearly killed you. Please.
Ow.
Focus on winning this.
2 repair kits remaining.
Picking up a massive heat signature. Evasive action, Raven.
AP at 30%.
You can definitely beat this fucker with I don't have tank treads, is the thing. Like, and I do not want to, like, get out of this mission entirely to do a grind to get different parts to then, like, you know, make something else. It's like, yeah.
Main system, reactivating combat mode. I've looked into the enemy craft. It's an autonomous PCA craft, Bauteus. You'll have to break its pulse armor to inflict meaningful damage.
Ow. Ow. Yeah, it...
Go suck it, Lemon.
Pulse armor down. Now's your chance, Raven. I've taken your cone slug offline for now.
Ow.
That massive dose of coral nearly killed you. Please, you have to focus on winning this.
Yep, that's gonna be a little bit tricky right now.
Picking up a massive heat signature. Evasive action, Raven. The enemy has taken heavy damage. Keep it up,
Ow.
Raven.
I've taken heavy damage as well.
At 30%.
The waves are intensifying. Raven, get clear.
There we go. All right, now he's in his second phase. Oh, Jesus.
Right.
I'm trying to figure out, like, where's Bone? I don't fucking know. I don't know. He's somewhere. Who knows? But yeah, I'm trying to, like, the biggest, like, the thing I'm not getting right is dodging the missiles. Like, I think that's the one where I'm now, like, having, like, that's my filter is, okay, you know that, like, some weapons will do better than others against, like, you know, oh, like the pulse shielding, and that you use explosives to, you know, get a little bit more, like, stagger going, and then the sword can also, is a good mix of stagger and impact and damage, but you need to, like, pull in close for that. Now it's a case of, okay, how are you going to dodge all the missiles that it decides to shoot at you? Because you're not dodging them. I can see myself not dodging them as I get, you know, chipped for health. And what's more is, as I get chipped for health... Oh, Jesus.
I've looked into the enemy craft. It's an autonomous PCA craft, Balteus. You'll have to break its pulse armor to inflict meaningful damage. Pulse armor down. Now's your chance, Raven. I've taken your cone slug offline for now. That massive dose of coral nearly killed you. Please, you have to focus on winning this.
Ow.
50%.
And then the thingy-majiggy is overheated.
Picking up a massive heat signature. Evasive action, Raven.
Ow.
At 30%. AP at 50%. Light and ammunition AP at 30%.
Ow.
One repair kit.
The enemy has taken heavy damage. Keep it up, Raven.
AP at 50%. Light and ammunition at 30%.
Oh, that's not good.
AP at 30%.
I'm sorry, Raven.
Plus, I don't work well with tire treads. In the training, like, video, I didn't do any, like, tire tread stuff. Like, I didn't do well with, like, the benefits of the tire tread. And I can't do the float, like...
Reactivating combat mode. I've looked into the enemy craft. It's an autonomous PCA craft, Balteus. You'll have to break its pulse armor to inflict meaningful damage.
Come on, come on, come on. And there we go.
Picking up pulse armor down. Now's your chance, Raven. I've taken your cone slug offline for now.
Ow.
That massive dose of coral nearly killed you. Please, you You have to focus on winning this.
AP at AP at 30%.
Come on. Shit. Where'd you go? There you are.
The waves are intensifying. Raven, get clear.
Right-hand ammunition at 50%. AP at 50%. AP
Ow.
at 30%.
And then he turns into a classic Dark Souls with like the sweeping.
Right-hand ammunition at 30%.
Damn it, come on.
One repair kit remaining.
Shoot.
AP at 30.
The enemy can't take much more.
Oh, come on, come on.
Right-hand ammunition at 10%.
Oh no! Oh, and I even had a repair kit. I even had a repair kit. I was slowly getting. Thank you for the Fs. I was slowly getting better. I was slowly doing it.
Main system, reactivating combat mode. I've looked into the enemy craft.
Come on.
It's an autonomous PCA craft, Bauteus. You'll have to break its pulse armor to inflict meaningful damage. Pulse armor down. Now's your chance, Raven. I've taken your comms link offline for now. That massive dose of coral nearly killed you. Please, you have to focus on winning this. The enemy has taken heavy damage. Picking up a massive heat signature. Evasive action, Raven. The waves are intensifying. Raven, get clear.
Right-hand ammunition at AP at 50%.
Oh yeah, no iframes. I forgot.
Right-hand ammunition at 30%.
The enemy can't take much more.
One repair kit remaining.
Ow. Nope, that's not good.
Right-hand ammunition at 10%.
Oh, that's not great either. Where the fuck? Oh, there you are.
AP at 50%. Right-hand ammunition depleted.
Yes! And I did it without the tank treads. Yes! ACS anomaly. The fuck is that? Armored Core System Anomaly? Is that like my recharge for like the physical thingamadoogs? Did it! Fucking
Raven.
baller.
You need rest. But first, a warning.
Ow.
The coral surge you were swept up in? That was just a glimpse. A premonition of the storm of flame that will burn Rubicon.
If it wasn't so destructive, that looks beautiful as fuck. Incredible. Well, repair and ammunition cost was a bit high there. Additional reward from Walter. I got an extra 100,000 for my efforts, and log hunt done. This game is pretty. It is pretty, and oh boy, that was definitely a filter.
Look, 621. The localized coral explosion caused by the surge has a certain directionality.
Okay, like the weather?
Straight for the central ice field across the Arlean Ocean. Like a flock of birds or a school of fish, coral loves company.
Okay.
Somewhere in the ice field, there's a huge mass of coral lying dormant.
So...
You can hear a strange voice in your head.
Yes, there was a strange voice in my head.
Side effect of old gen augmentation.
Wait, how old is 4th gen? I thought 4th gen...
Don't let it bother you.
I thought 4th gen was like relatively recent.
The coral explosion completely vaporized northwestern Malleus's Bay Area.
Huh.
And even yet, compared to the fires of Ibis, that explosion was hardly a spark. Raven, I have a favor to ask. Let me remain in contact with you until we reach the coral convergence.
Okay.
I have to see where they're taking us. How this struggle over the coral ends.
Probably, like, through...
As a Rubiconian.
Oh, so she's native to this planet that's, like, toxic to us and is just, like, filled to the brim with, like, very dangerous chemicals.
C4621, entering standard mode. 2 new messages.
2?
621. I've got some business to attend to. I need to hawk some intel to the corpse and secure a backer for our trip to the ice field. One job for you while I'm out. Rest up. And that's an order.
Raven, I see your handler's away on business for now. About that trip to the ice field, we've received a job from Balaam already. Let's take a look.
621. It's me, Mom. How come you never call? I do call, Mom. I just don't call every week. There isn't anything new going off in my life every week. I don't have a girlfriend. I don't have a child.
In the arena.
Nothing new happens for like months on end. And I completely missed that message. New mercenaries added to the arena. Hell the fuck yes. New parts? Excellent. Alright, alright. Hey, we got... So, RF for the pulse, and then the burst of pulse rifle. Ooh, we got Gatling guns now. Ooh, Iridium. A compact grenade launcher developed by Melanite defies conventional wisdom. Repeated weak areas, limited number of rounds. A napalm bomb launcher. A laser shotgun. A missile launch. Ooh, that's pretty neat. Pile bunker. The fuck is a pile bunker? Neat. And then a laser blade. Laser rifle, sword, plasma, and missile launcher. Vertical hang on. Grenade cannon. I do like the speed of that. Plasma missile launcher. Okay. And then we've got grenade, pulse buckler. Oh, we got like 2 pulse bucklers. Interesting. Nice. Hey, new heads. That is an interesting head design. Okay. Lighter EN load, better altitude stability. Then we've got...
Okay, that's it. I'm gonna spit in your mouth.
Please don't spit in my mouth. Some heavy-duty arms. Some lightweight arms. Oh, this one has better firearm stability, but lowers in the AP and the arms limit. Okay. And then... reverse points, tetrapod, tank legs. Okay. So we got some bipedals.
Go suck a lemon.
You go suck a lemon. So that's the reverse joint. Okay, so we only have these 3 as far as like our different styles. This is our booster for long distance cruising. Assault boost thrust and energy efficiency when rapidly closing in on a target from large distance. For the old generation AC, it marked an attempt to faithfully restore core theory. Its specs were tweaked for melee combat. Okay. And then better close range, abysmal everywhere else.
Chat has come together and thinks you should do 20 squats during the break.
Alrighty then. Alright. 20 squats. Here we go. Big stretch! Oh, big stretch! Alrighty then, here we go, chat. 20 more squats. Did you do it, son? Yes, I did! Did you not see me? Did you not see me do it, Avalon? God damn it! I got through the filter. I did it. I got through the first filter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Thank you for the 20 squats. Thank you for the 20 squats. Okay. This would give me an EN shortfall. This one would be good for energy weapons, so I'll at least purchase that. A lot of EN shortfalls because of that. I'll purchase the laser blade as like a backup. Nah. An active homing missile. Huh. Interesting. Ooh. Arms developed by Allmind for model ACs, designed as part of a research to extend human sensory capabilities with numerous optimizations. That is overall just an improvement for a lot of stuff. Hell yeah. And then we've already got our bipedal, but then we'd be overburdened if we try it. We're going up against AC, so I'll stick to that. Let's have a look. I won't switch to close range just yet. We'd be overburdened with that one. It would be an EN shortfall with everything else. Huh. Keep to that, keep to that. All right. Let's give it a try for something lightweight. Let's give it a go on this guy. Here we go. Also, I need to say, yes, I've done the squats.
Arena Combat Aptitude Evaluation Program number 26. Entering rank E.
You go suck a lemon. You should try tread legs sometimes.
Call sign, no Zark.
I'll give it a try. Once I have, like, spare funds to just be... Stop looking at the ass!
Main system.
Here we go.
Activating combat mode.
Meow. There we go. That one was a bit more like jumpy. You're also playing the game and you need my ears so I can listen to the warnings. Yeah, and I have all these warnings going off on my one as well, so you're gonna have like, you're probably gonna have a little bit of problem. All right, more spots on the next advertisement. We got that one done, and we got a cool looking, looking emblem. There we go. You know what? All right, hang on. Hang on a second. You know what? I'm gonna do this. Cake Cam. Starting at 250 points. Actions. So, when the stream starts... Twitch... Don't you dare. Here we go. You ready for this, chat? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Rewards. Set cost. Alrighty. How did I... hang on. How did I do biggest fan? So, set reward. Yeah, so set cost is just that. Alright. Ding, dong. Twitch. Rewards. Set cost. And then it's... Cake Cam, add, we're gonna say 50 points. All right, so ding, 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 ding. All right, where's the thingamadoogies? And then Cake Cam, create a maca. Where's the Twitch thingy? I am now going to make it each time someone's like, I gotta look at that ass, it's gonna cost 50 more on the next thingy-madiggy. You'll get Code. Code will agree on this one. Code also is not a fan of Code is not a fan of punishment. They have put a time limit on how many times you can throw things at like how quickly you can throw things at them. So, yeah. Alrighty. Adds it to 50. Alright, so. So yeah, squats and stolen shirt are back on. Alright. So. Test. So now, let's have a look. The cake cam is now 300. You remove the time limit? Excellent. Nice work. Nice work indeed. I'll do it for like the chest camera as well. It will add 50 each time it's redeemed. So then that way it costs more and more in the one stream. If you try and spam it, it just costs more and more. But then when I start a stream again, it's back down to the default 250 points. So if people have a lot of points, then it's like, no problem. They'll just, you know, they'll just waste their points and such like that. I haven't done it for the Himbo Cam yet.
Arena Combat Aptitude Evaluation Program.
All right,
Number
next one.
25, Rank E.
Here we go.
Subject
here we go.
AC, Infection.
All right.
Main system activating combat mode.
Go suck a lemon.
You go suck a lemon.
AP at 30%.
Ah! My first defeat! My first defeat in the arena. Alright. We're swapping from this to... Let's go... We get an EN shortfall with that, so we're gonna go with the assault rifle. Restart program. Here we go. It sucked for me too. The pulse gun hurts. It's not the pulse gun that hits me, it's the plasma that gets me.
AP at 30%.
We'll try this again. So, because I need to do like a big hit. Everyone else can do the Fs. It's not just furry cures that can do it.
Activating combat mode.
Here we go. All right, charge and there.
AP at 50%. AP at 30%.
Alright. Let's try this again. I'll get this, don't you worry. I'll be able to counter this, like, plasma thing. Mode. Okay, how does he restore his AP thingamajiggy so quickly? He was like so close to being like, you know. Infection, where the fuck are you?
AP at 50%. At 30%.
All right, assembly time. En shortfall for that, so let's have a look at here we go. I'll get this, don't you worry.
Main system activating combat mode. AP at 30%.
That was even worse than last time. And he has his back turned to me, the bastard! Let's try this again. Do not run into him.
System activating combat mode. AP at 50%. AP at 30%.
Darn it. I'm looking at chat and I'm like, oh, has anyone said anything else? Nope, it's just Fs. Everyone's just Fs. All right, changing from laser to pulse, because like cool, that has a lot of impact, but it's like
suck a lemon.
You go suck a lemon. Like, hang on, 7 to 11. Yeah, if I can just get 2 hits on this, I'm doing more impact than just 1 hit with this. And like, unless I charge this, which it's not.
Go suck a lemon.
You go suck a lemon. Thank you for the hyper himbo, Meeps. That's a lot more helpful. That's a lot more helpful, doing a hyper himbo for me to get me ready for the fight, not just throwing Fs. Here we are. I cannot focus on him. Where the fuck is he?
AP at 50%. AP at 30%.
It is. Getting a little bit of crunch as well when I do the stream. All right. Stop looking at the cake. I need to find a different sound effect for the cake and the himbo, because the clown honk does get on my nerves, and I need to think of a different sound that doesn't get on my nerves. All right, fine. Let's try the pulse, you. Let's try the pulse, you piece of shit. Let's see, how does it feel?
Main system activating combat mode. At 30%.
There we go. Goddamn pulse gun.
Target destroyed.
Why are you so useful?
Concluding evaluation. Well done.
How about damn boy, he's thick? I feel like that's too long of a sound. I feel like going damn boy, he's thick. And damn would be too much. That's a weird looking emblem. But hey, I did it. Finally. Alright, OS tuning. What can I get? So boost kick, I've not been using all that much. Weapons bay. This one feels like a Dark Souls, like, oh, let me just swap my weapons. Like, that's if you don't ever want to use shoulders, which I feel like would be useful if you wanted to swap from kinetic to plasma or pulse. Weight control allows you to do manual purging. Holding the right thingamadiggy allows you to do manual aiming, which, you know, maybe if I was on keyboard and mouse. Quick turning might be useful. Assault armor, it gives me additional charges. Terminal armor. Automatically triggers a pulse barrier when it reaches 0. Increasing the kinetic damage from 3% to 6. Energy weapons and melee. Direct hit modifiers. Optimization of hacking and overrides. Damage mitigation. Repair kit effectiveness. Enhances all sources of melee combat. Energy, explosion. Enhances kinetic excluding melee. Enhanced explosive excluding melee, excluding melee. Enhances all sources of melee. The little, like, tuning thingy-majiggies on the left are interesting. Or not on the left, on the right. Alright, let's boost that. Dun 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 dun. Alright, can I purchase? No, I can't purchase the tire treads.
Go suck a lemon.
You go suck a lemon. You don't say a lot anymore, do you?
What if we held hands as a treat?
Nah, I'm not for that. I do like the laser cannon. Let's swap to the laser sword again. Swap over to assault rifle. Did I put the burst on here? No, I didn't. Okay. Ah, a warrior of the Rubicon Liberation Front. As an infant, Ziyi was taken to Rubicon by her parents, who, tempted by the promise of riches from coral mining, sought to make an illegal entry to the planet. Only Ziyi survived the crash landing. She came under the guardianship of Uncle Flatwell of the Rubicon Liberation Front, and the core of an AC was the young orphan's cradle as she grew up to become a coral warrior. Interesting. Alright, so we dealt with G6. V6, little Yui, and then that's V7. Alright. Let's give it a try with our normal, like, setup. Let's see how we go. Who's your next opponent? This chick.
Arena Combat Aptitude Evaluation Program, number 24, rank E. Subject AC, UAU, call sign, Little Ziyi.
Little Ziyi. It's a very lo-fi sort of armor core as well. Like, it's got a lot of rivets and shit rather than our modernist look. Oh, she can dodge. There we go. 3 hours. Thank you, Furry Cures. I don't normally need, like, reminders of how long I've been streaming and such. It's like,
well done.
I can see it in the bottom left of my OBS. I can see it on my thingy-madiggy. Like, half the time when I'm like, oh shoot, it's been this long, it's like I've known for like probably 15 minutes it has been for that long, and it's like, oh, I want to get going because I want to have dinner, or I want to hang out with friends, or I want to sleep. In this regard, I want to get done the furry whatsamahoozy, oh hey, we can increase the assault armor. Right, so kinetic requires 4, melee requires 3, access speed requires 2. This one might be useful for when we do collections and such like that, so this one I feel like I would most likely probably max it out, and then I'd reset for missions that don't require me doing the scans. And then what kind of missions do we have in Chapter 2? Infiltrating the grid. Hey, we can still play, like, all these other missions as well. Alright, so we got 2 pendings. Nothing on the battle log, and we've completed the battle log for that one. And this one is pending as well. Interesting. I thought I had that one done. Alright, well, so I got 3 that require, like, you know, battle log nonsense. Nothing new in the training. Alright, I'm probably gonna replay those things off stream and get some monies and such so I can do more customization. As for the rest, I am gonna... Oop, hang on. Why is it doing an advertisement? It's not meant to do an advertisement! Ah, goddamn you.
Chat has come together and thinks you should do 10 squats during the break.
Alrighty then. Time to do 10 squats. Let me get the music started so then that way you can listen to that. And get my stretches going. Big stretch! Big stretch! Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Easy. Easy 10 squats. Easy 10 squats. There we go. Alrighty then. So yeah. And then I can click the button here saying I've done them. So yeah, that is probably going to be it for me. It's tempting to start again tonight, playing something else completely different for all I know. It would be a little bit funny if I did that. I'll bonk your ass for changing the cake cam. It was something I had to get going to doing, because it's like... There's a few changes I want to do. Number 1 is, you know, doing the cost increase thingy-majiggy for the himbo cam as well. Don't worry, the cost resets when a new stream starts. And then meanwhile, find some different sound effects. Something short, okay? So not, damn boy, he's thick. That, I feel like that's too long, especially if the cake and himbo cam are gonna get spammed. So there's that. So it has to be like something short and, but not, you know, honka honka and just, you know, annoying me and shit. Am I bleeding in my gums or something like that? I taste a little bit of, maybe I need to brush my teeth after this. Maybe booty noises. Oh, like the timpani bong? You mean like, hang on a second. Are you talking about, let me find it. There's a sound. Soundboard. Let me find it. So there's, and then there's, but I might need to get shorter timpanis. So those are cool ones. No, don't pull the lever, Wild Saber! More like cheek slapping? I don't think you realize like how quiet cheek slapping is sometimes. Like it's just a... it's not that fun. Like, comedic, like it needs to be like something comedic. Wolf whistle is a little more likely than cheeks clapping, but I'm kind of in the mood for bong. Any whoosies. Let's have a look at who we can go and raid. Let's see, are they still streaming? None of the normal peeps is streaming, but that means that there's other streamers There's all kinds of different... Ooh! Mutasaur is streaming! We can raid into Mutasaur! We can raid into Mutasaur! Okay, so if you don't know who Mutasaur is a Australian furry artist, and they were like responsible for my badge last year for Furdu, and they do quite a lot of things in Australia. They hosted the Twitch panel last year for Furdu, and they're just an all-around like lovely person. We are gonna go raid into Mutasaur because I have not raided into them in forevers, because they normally stream when I'm not streaming, and then I'm streaming when they're not streaming, or they're just done. So we're gonna go raid into that raid message. Get in the robot, Sinji. Or no, just get in the robot. Get in the robot. And here is our raid message. If you're not subscribed, that's okay. You can use whatever other kinds of emotes. Get in the E621. I feel like that would be a weird. Get in the robot is enough of a difference. Get in the robot is enough for them to get the understanding. If it's get into the E621, they might think it's a bit weirdy until they see, unless they have the context of Armored Core and such like that. It's a bit of a weirdy ones. Otherwise, I'm going to end the stream here. I might stream in the evening playing Dying Light 2, or I might not stream until Wednesday, because Wednesday is when we have our art stream. So other than that, I want to say thank you everyone who came along to this morning's stream. It's now the afternoon for me. I greatly appreciate. I don't know if I'll stream this evening. Who knows? I greatly appreciate you coming, and I hope to see you all next time. Bye for now.